Okay, I'd like to point out that if you've been watching the videos on DC Universe Online website, this is the infamous coffee maker, and it does make some darn good coffee. Let me tell you that. Sorry.
But his friend worked here and he's really desperate to get close to
This wall is very cool. It's a projection of a bunch of motivational, demotivational.
All right, everybody. I want to thank you guys for coming today.
Debbie Sue, how you doing?
Welcome everybody to DC University 2010, your freshman class. This is your inaugural day on campus. You're pleased to have a guest host today, Dean John Blakely, who is also our executive director on DC Universe Online.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Awesome. Welcome to DC University. I'm glad you guys can make it out here. We're really excited to have you at the studio and to show you what we've been working on for longer than it will take you to graduate from DC University. It's awesome. We're very proud of the product, and I know that some of you guys are already playing it from your time at Comic-Cons and other VIP passes, and so I'm excited to get you guys in here, give you a little bit of, we have a great lineup for you today. We have a couple of instructors that may or may not have seen online that'll be able to walk you through some different pieces. We have a syllabus for you that you guys should have gotten when you registered. And now I'm going to walk around and give you a little bit of a orientation and a studio tour, and then we'll get you right in there and start looking at stuff that's cool and fun in the DC universe. So what I want to do is I'm giving this tour is I can talk forever if you talk to people that work for me and with me. And so, but I want to make this more interactive because this is what games are all about. And so, ask questions. I mean, you guys are fans and are future players, and I want to know what you want me to tell you, not what I'm just going to spout off of the top of my head. So, please ask a lot of questions. And you guys are freshmen, so you probably have a lot of them. So, we're going to start here with right here where Christopher's standing, which is you guys are noobs. You guys are subscriptions waiting to happen. And so, basically, what we've done is we've learned a lot. We have the studio's been here in Austin for about 10 years, and we've made a lot of mistakes over the years. And so the only way that we're going to move things forward in this business is to make new mistakes. And so because we like to have fun, that's the fundamental premise of everything here, we like to play, one of the things we want to do is say, well, let's laugh at ourselves a little bit, and let's talk about the mistakes that we have made in the hopes that, you know, we'll remind ourselves every day when we walk in the studio that we'll make new ones next time. And so that's what we're trying to do. And so I'm sure you guys can look at this and each have a chuckle. There's about 80 of these in here, so we won't stand here for the whole thing. But we definitely are making new mistakes on this product. Exactly. That's actually, ironically, one of our fans. So this art also comes from our Legends of Norrath and Swig, Star Wars Galaxies TCG card art. So you might recognize it from there as well. All right. Well, this is our reception, our entryway into SOE Austin. And if you walk around here, I'll just take you on a quick tour of the development facility. It's a little early for the developers because they're usually here late, working on fixing all those bugs that you guys find for us. So you'll see a little bit of a vacancy here, but they'll start to roll in and get busy here in an hour or two. I'm going to stop here for a moment and talk a little bit about future screenshots. So what we did, again, this like I said, this project's been going on for years and years and years. In fact, when I moved out here from San Diego, I worked in our San Diego studio almost 6 years ago. My wife was pregnant with my 5-year-old now, so that was a long time ago. Anyway. We have future screenshots. When we first got together, we had a small team and we were working with Wildstorm, and we said, you know, in our imaginations, you know, what does this game look like in our heads? And the reason we do this is for a couple of reasons. We do this so we can all talk about the same thing. And I think that has gone through and through to this product all the way since we talked about it at Comic-Con and so on and so forth. We always want to show up with something that you can touch, something you can tangibly understand, and something we can talk about. Because in your head, if I tell you something, something forms in your head, something forms in my head. If those expectations aren't met, then we have angry players, which we've had in the past. And so part of that philosophy here is what we call prove through play. Our mission statement at the studio is just play, simple. You know, play your game, play other games, play every game. You know, prove through play is a common principle you'll hear echoed today throughout your classes at DC University. And the sentiment starts with making sure that we're all talking about the same thing. So before we had a game, we talked about it. So for instance, here you can go, okay, the engineers can look at this and go, wow, you want the buildings to destroy when a giant thing comes in and there's all these people in here. Well, we may not be able to get to that echo part of it, but we can put big ships in here. We can have guys flying and throwing things. We can have iconics in here. We can have people shooting and running fast. And so it gives everybody an idea about what's important, because 4 or 5 years ago when we started talking about this stuff, it was a bit crazy. And it still is a bit crazy, which is why I think everybody is enjoying the game that's playing it, because it's different. And we're trying to build fundamentally a superhero game that's fun to play with your friends, and really kind of deliver on that experience at all accounts. Deliver on the ability to play with your friends, to deliver on the ability to have a lot of fun, and to really, and more importantly, feel like a superhero or a supervillain in the DC universe. So there you go, a little bit of history.
Darksiders.
Also, as you look around here, and I've walked these halls many, many days and nights, so I'm going to walk faster. If there's anything, again, any questions or anything you want to have, we have concept art. So one of the things we also had to do was we have 75 years of history. And anytime you build a game with the word universe in it, it takes a long time. And there's a lot to be accountable for. You guys are fans of this stuff. You've grown up with it. You know it better than we do. We have some guys in here who know it really, really well, but there's always somebody out there who knows something else. And so we really had to be careful with how we're treating these characters and the care and love that have been invested from an artistic standpoint, but then also from the fans. And so we worked and teamed up with Jim Lee, who's our executive creative director. Also, he's one of the most prolific artists in this universe, and right now he's the co-publisher of DC. So we're in good spirits with making sure that we preserve that. And then his team at Wildstorm also worked with our team to come up in concept and make sure that we represented these characters in a way that was meaningful and relevant with the canon that we were trying to put into the game. So we have over 2,800 of these drawings, concept pieces throughout that have been built in order to build a product. And there's more. So we also, this is Jeff Carpenter, so any of your UI issues can go straight to him. He's our UI guy. So we have a lot of them right now. Basically, one of the things I want to talk about here is each team that we have is set up in what's called a 9-pack, a 6-pack, or an 8-pack. And so we have multiple smaller teams that are focused on different functions, building a certain goal and doing a certain type of thing. So right now, Man, Bear, Pig, called the face of the game here, they each have their own name that they've come up with, and that's their name. It's a pop culture reference. I'll let you guys figure it all out as a little bit of trivia. But this team right here is responsible, again, as being the face of the game for the for the user interface. And they grow and shrink depending on what the focus is, but their identity carries through, and then we allow them, they sit in this area, build it the way they want it, and then they also have an identity that carries through. So when we talk in our meetings can be kind of entertaining because we have our own vocabulary, and that vocabulary will include things like Man, Bear, Pig is doing this, and Chimera is doing that, and and people are like, when they first start here, they're just like, huh, but at some point you start thinking that way, and you don't think in any other way, and so it's kind of neat. So you see those things around the studio as well. And here we have lots and lots of developers. So the team size, we have about 160 some people in the studio. About 101 of those are full-time employees dedicated to DC University. We have about 15 contractors. And we have around 35 to 40 QA guys. And so, and then we have folks in our other studios supporting us as well. San Diego, Seattle, and Denver, all helping make the game come to fruition. We don't like to feed him, so if you water him after midnight, he will multiply. But this is Wes Unagi. He's our senior producer, and this is where he gets to live. And I get to come and bug him, ask him how's the game going this morning.
It's running. It's good. I was just checking it out, so
excellent.
So we're all good.
He'll be talking to you later a little bit about physics and how he'll give you guys your physics lesson, and so we'll see him a little bit later. He's wearing the Green Lantern.
Yep.
It's not Green Lantern Friday though. What's up?
Tell him this is an officially licensed thing.
WC's not going to make you take it off this time.